And I'm with Universal's Public Relations Department. We're really glad you're here tonight. Really great night for us to announce this ride, Transformers the Ride 3D, coming in summer 13. Exciting for us. Want to give you an opportunity to be here as we announced it and to talk to two really special guys. I'd like you to meet Mark Woodbury. He's the president of Universal Creative, and Thierry, who's the senior vice president of Universal Creative. These are the gentlemen behind the ride here in Orlando, in Singapore, and in Hollywood. Thank you, Thierry. They're going to chat with you for a few seconds about the attraction, just give you some background, and we'll open it up for a few questions. So, Mark, Thierry.
Thanks, Tom. Well, greetings, everybody. Thanks for coming out. It's a really big night for us. We're thrilled to be bringing Transformers to Universal Orlando next summer. It's been a great ride for Transformers, opening in Singapore in late 2011, and then followed up in Hollywood. So it has already become a global phenomenon, and people are just wild about the ride. The reaction has been over the top. So it was rush, and let's get it to Orlando in a hurry, and that's what you're seeing happen out there today. You saw the big building, you saw the great announcement, and we're just thrilled that we're making it happen.
Yeah, when you think about it, Transformers is just the perfect property, perfect IP for Universal, and it packs some of the bigger-than-life characters, great action, incredible stories, and everything that we love to bring to our guests. Bringing the best of pop culture, the best of action and family entertainment to life. This is just a natural for us to bring this must-see attraction to Orlando, and we're so excited. I was part of all the other openings of Singapore and Hollywood, and seeing how it was received and how it's grown into being the new standard for one of the best 3D dark ride in the world. It is really great to be able to bring this to Orlando.
This has been a really interesting process, and one of the things you're seeing us do more and more is really focus on authenticity, and Transformers is a great example of that. And we had the benefit of working with Michael Bay, and it was really important to us to have Michael as part of this as our creative consultant to help make it real. He's really the guy behind the rebirth of the Transformers, if you will. And so having him as part of this, along with Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime, and Frank Welker, the original voice of Megatron, and Glenn Morshower, are all part of this attraction. So, having that kind of talent brought to bear on our theme park attractions is not only raises the bar of quality, but it really delivers a great, authentic piece of work. And so, this thing is a thrill. The image quality is spectacular. The acting is great. The characters, the resolution, the technology is just really a stunning piece of work. So we're thrilled that people in Orlando and around the world are going to get to see it come summer 13.
Yeah, you combine all this, with the power and the talent of ILM, who did the imaging for the Transformers ride, and of course the team at Universal Creative, who has been churning out blockbusters for the past few years, and all that combined is giving everything we have learned in the past and everything we've listened to our guests. We wanted to know what they wanted next, and this is really the perfect example of the ultimate attraction.
So we'll take questions in a second, but Mark and Thierry, you're talking about the animation. We all saw a little bit of the video out there. Talk a little bit about it's all action. Talk a little bit about the action and about the storyline, please. And we'll let you do that for a second or two, and then we'll take some questions.
Well, the franchise itself is a big action adventure. So when you take that 3 big motion pictures and a 4th to come, by the way, which we're really excited about, and try and condense that into a theme park ride, you're taking the most exciting and thrilling parts of the entire body of work and bringing it to bear in a really thrilling, visceral experience. So the technology that we've developed to do this, including the latest in projection technology and the most detailed animation we can imagine, has been combined with the visceral component, along with this vertical silo experience that we've developed, which is done for a couple reasons, but the main one is the first time we're able to really experience the full scale of these characters, which is really important to us. You can't really put them in a small box. You got to let them breathe, and they're huge. And in 3D, it just really is. It's really amazing.
Yeah, it's really. It was exciting to see the reaction of Michael Bay and the talent at Hasbro when they first saw one of the screenings we had for Optimus Prime in 3D, standing full scale in front of us, and it gave them a whole perspective, a different perspective, and then they thought, wow, this is what the fans have been waiting for, being able to spend longer than 2 seconds with them on screen, actually being able to feel the robots, grabbing the car, pulling you, yanking you into the action, or catapulting you in front of all the Autobots. And that's something that you don't really get completely, and Michael Bay has expressed that, he's always wanted to do that with movies, and for the first time, the ride does what everybody wanted. All the fans wanted that, he wanted that as a director, and that's what we do at Universal. We place our guests in the middle of the action, and now this time, you have Spider-Man in 3D, which does that, but this is a different scale. I mean, the characters are gigantic. This is not a comic book world. This is a very photorealistic, and it just places you in such ways. You're transported, and you're not just viewing, you're acting. You're one of the Autobots. I mean, it's great.
Questions?
Yeah, we'll open it up to questions.
Will there be any changes from this version to the one that's already in Singapore or Hollywood with the attraction or the Coup?
We have kind of a strategy that says it ain't broken, so let's not fix it. It's the same in Singapore, Hollywood, and it'll be the same main attraction here, but the architecture is different and the facility is different. So the queue is a little bit different and the architecture of the building is different, but the ride itself is the same proven success that we have elsewhere.
You talked about how it, kind of quickly were like, we want to get this here. Was it difficult to figure out where you're going to put it if you were going to bring it here pretty quickly?
I wouldn't say difficult, but you put a lot of thought into those things, and this is a big iconographic attraction, so we wanted to give it a big iconographic position, and that's why you see it right smack in the middle of the park, facing out onto the lagoon, so it really has a prominent spot. And then we have Optimus guarding the entrance of the attraction, so that'll be a really stunning image when you see it.
Two questions. One, this is probably the fastest construction I've ever seen in a theme park. It seems like you're moving at an amazing pace, 24 hours a day. Why the sense of urgency? And number two is Spider-Man Forbidden Journey. Similar, screens, projections, etc. Do you think it's going to get repetitive at all, or is Transformers different enough to really, take that audience?
You want to take the second one first, or the first one?
Sure. I mean, it's really each one of them is such a different experience, and like I said before, we have Spider-Man, which is bring the best of virtual and reality together and blending it seamlessly into an experience. Transformers is taking everything we've learned to the next level, and the scale of the characters is gigantic, and it's just a whole different world. Each one offers such a unique experience. It offers, as we do with our parks, we have something for everyone and the whole family to share. This is just a whole different level and different IP, obviously, that is going to satisfy even more of our guests. And I think that's what makes our parks so unique and so rich. And it's the mix, and it's all these incredible properties, these IPs, this pop culture we bring to life.
The only thing I would add to that is when you see these characters in film, for us to bring them to life in the park, the only way to do it is on some sort of media presentation, and adding 3D to it really is another component. But there's no real robotic that can move as fast as this. So in order to deliver on expectations, it's really important for us to do that, so we develop ways to do it visually.
So King Kong size Transformer animatronic is out of the question.
Yeah.
1,500 moving parts, yeah, each one of them is...
Yeah, I mean, to get, you see how fast they move, and when you're in the ride, to have, someone reach out and grab your vehicle and tug it through the building. You saw a little bit of that clip on in the presentation earlier. That you just have to do by combining real and virtual experiences together. You add that visceral component in order to really make it a different experience. So we do that, and that's what you'll see out there. To answer your first question is how fast and why. It is really fast. This is the fastest we've ever built a project as complex as this. And we've done other things in a year time frame, but this is a really, really complicated piece of work, from building the building to the ride technology to the film technology. very, very complex to put together. And our motivation is it's wildly popular. So, we wanted to bring it to market as fast as we possibly could. Great for our business, great for our guests, and that's really what motivates us.
Thank you.
Are we going to see the same merchandise, meet and greet opportunities, and even like the Energon drink that we see out in Hollywood? Are you guys going to bring those here as well?
You're going to see a lot of things we have yet to talk about.
Okay.
When did planning for this attraction start
Planning for the attraction?
for here?
Well, soon after we opened in Hollywood, and we had seen the great success in Singapore, and literally, I would say days after opening in Hollywood, we saw the response, and we said, let's go to Orlando.
I'm curious, you talked about, obviously Michael Bay's involvement, and I'm just curious, how much was he involved, and, did he have any input on some of the gags, like going through the building and some of those action set pieces?
Well, that one in particular was Steven Spielberg's idea, flying through the building, but yeah, Michael Bay was very involved.
Yeah, we had some really great concept sessions and with Michael Bay to come up with the action. He's so into those robots, and the way he brought them to life in the movies is just so incredible. So, of course, we worked with him very closely, and he wanted so much more action, but the screens are only so big. They're the biggest in the world, really, one attraction, but it was incredible. His talent as to bring it, action to life is great. And then throughout the production of the film, Michael was working on Transformers 3, and a lot of the same crew that was working on the film was working on our media as well. So there was great interaction throughout, and we were able to leverage on some of the environments. When he was shooting in Chicago, we got to shoot in Chicago as well. And a lot of really good tie-in between what was going on in our media with him, but yet a whole new story, and it's an entire original story. So and a new character, Evac, which is extremely popular. It's great for the first time to be able to place someone inside an Autobot and ride along. It's just tremendous.
Just a quick follow-up on that, since you mentioned that was a Spielberg idea, and I love that moment in the ride, by the way. Can you just talk about his involvement? Was that, did he just happen to throw that one out there, or was he involved in other ways?
No, Stephen has been our creative consultant on our movie parks since 1988, since we built this park we're in now. And so we spent a lot of time with Stephen talking about ideas, and as we were talking about Transformers and going through the story treatment, we were talking about flying down the street, and he said, oh, you just have to make that move through the building. And it's those kinds of attention to detail, attention to certain story moments that these guys are just so great at. And, that's how it works. Yes?
Could you could you go into more detail about the Coup and also the ride vehicle itself?
The Coup, the story? The Coup,
Yeah, details of what we're going to see as we're waiting in line and interacting perhaps.
Sure. The whole premise is for our guests to come in and become recruits with the NEST operations of the government. It's these non-biological extraterrestrial, Michael, help me. Species treaty. NEST, the same operation that was in the film, and led by General Morshower, who is in our pre-show as well. So the guests are greeted by General Morshower on screens. We basically go through the NEST facility, very similar to the sets that were in the films. So you're going to go through different areas where you get kind of prepped for your training, and we're going to meet the Autobots through some of the screens as well. Again, with the voices, the original voices from the film, and then you get to meet the Decepticons as well. So you kind of get trained and briefed on who they are and what they want. You're going to see in one of the rooms, very well guarded, is the All-Spark Shard, which is the remains of the source of energy from the planet on which the Transformers are from. So you see that, and you actually find out that we're here to protect this, and that's what NEST is about, because this source of energy is actually capable of turning any electronics, any machinery into robots, and for good or evil, depending on who gets this energy. So, we find all that stuff out through a great entertaining way, and then at the midst of going to the end of our training, we find out that Decepticons are breaching the facility, they are attacking the facility, and they are stealing the Allspark. So suddenly, we just met EVAC, this new robot that's been designed to evacuate troops and take them away and also protect the Allspark. He asked us to join him on this mission, and we are basically recruited to go along with him. We see him transform from a robot into a car, and the next thing we know, we go into the car, which we know it's EVAC, and then we go on this mission. We are after the Allspark, and Decepticons, Ravage actually takes the Allspark. That's the ride now, and we're after him. We steal it back with Bumblebee, and then all the Decepticons are after us with the biggest, the Devastator, who's the largest, absolutely largest Decepticon ever. I don't know if you remember the last film. He was on the pyramid. Well, he's in the streets against us. I mean, we're just facing him, and Megatron is after us at every corner, and we're just racing through the streets, going underground in the subways, flying over the city. I mean, just being catapulted, like I said, in the middle, in the front row of the battle, and eventually we succeed. We're able to defeat Megatron, and we've saved the Earth. Really, I mean, we were with EVAC and the help of the Autobots. I mean, it's a very action-packed experience, the most action-packed experience we've probably created, and yet it is fun for the entire family. It's so enjoyable. You can't ride it just once. You want to go on it multiple times, and that's what happened with Michael Bay. He was just like, I've got to go again and again and again.
And I know when you guys do something new, you always one-up yourself somehow. So as I'm sitting on this ride, compared to the robotic arm at Forbidden Journey or Spider-Man, how did you one-up yourself this time?
I would say it in a couple of ways. It's non-stop action. That's one of my. The other is the pure scale of the experience. It's absolutely huge and spatially limitless. So you're really immersed much deeper into the experience that you have in anything else we've ever done. And the scale of the characters and the resolution of the characters is really at an unprecedented level.
So we'll take one more question, please. Then you cut your hand up.
How would the exterior differ from Hollywood?
I'm sorry?
How would the exterior of the attraction differ from Hollywood?
A totally different context and setting, so it's just totally different in just about every way. The shape is a little bit different. It's 360 degrees here. In Hollywood, it's kind of a proscenium setup. So very different context, very different architecture.
Mark, Thierry, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you all much.
So we're glad you're here with us. Hope you have a great night. Oh, there was one more thing.